Hello LAP, this is Brandon Rice here coming to you with your Chairman's Report. We'll start off with the order bank, and in case you missed it, I talked on it a little bit last week. This is now a kind of a descending balance here. This number should go down every week until we get to the end. The Escape is at $30,195, the Corsair $7,516 for a total of $37,711. And that's actually, these numbers come out very first thing Monday morning, so any units that we have ran this week are not included in that figure. Starting next week, production is going to go to a 9 to 9.2 production schedule. Looking like we'll probably stay on that until we finish out the Escape. Hit on that a little bit last week too. We were looking at a end date of the 19th. There's some nervousness about that because we can't run past the retool, and every unit that we have is spoken for. So this overtime is being put in to move that back and give a little bit of cushion. If we stay on target, everything stays running well. Looking at probably the 15th being the last day. Had some questions that should not affect holiday pay for anybody in any of the departments. Yeah, I think body shop will probably get done a little bit before final, and paint probably shortly after them and a little bit before final, but this is not going to affect anybody's holiday pay. Your 3% wage increase took effect last Monday. It did show up on everybody's paychecks this week, so that went in on time, and everybody's pay should be correct on that. I want to put out another reminder. If you have signed up for the SRI and you have not been gotten signed up for your retirement yet, you need to get up and see Jim Fisher or get online and do it yourself, but it needs to be done as soon as possible. If you have a quadro, if you've been divorced and you've got a ex-spouse that's getting a portion of your pension, you're probably already in a window where you're putting your January pension payment at risk. Again, I think there's only a handful that have not gotten it taken care of according to our benefits rep. But if you have not, time is of the essence. You need to get that done so that all of your benefits will be on time and so that your pension check will be on time. I've had a lot of people asking me here lately about will we be able to work over at KTP during the retool? No, there's not any open agreement that's going to allow us to send people over there, send people back over here. That being said, there is contractual language that says that if we are laid off, that we have the ability to displace TFTs that are in zone. So their TFTs are all getting ready to convert to full time that they have. But when we get to next April, let's say, and they start looking for summer help, which is what traditionally TFTs are used for, the folks at our plant would have the opportunity to go over there and be the summer help prior to them hiring anybody from the street. So yes, there is an opportunity there that you could go over in that capacity, but there's not an open window where we go down at Christmas time in January, they call and say, hey, do you want to come work at KTP until we go back? There's nothing set up like that at this time. I can't say there won't ever be any conversation like that, but there is not anything standing that's going to make that happen. Also wanted to hit, I know there was a news story about KTP hiring 100 people. I'm already in discussion with National Ford Department on that. I believe before that happens, and they haven't set a hiring date yet, but before that happens, I think we will get an opportunity there. So we will probably have some people that'll get an opportunity to go over there. Now that would be a permanent opening. And because it's in zone, there is no moving allowance with that. I've had that question as well. If you take a permanent posting at KTP, you're just basically going to move from our plant to their plant. There won't be any bonuses involved or anything like that. Had a lot of questions about leftover vacation time when we go out for the retool. If you have any vacation time left over when we go out, it's going to pay out on your normal renewal date. So, and December eligible people, I think probably a good chance that you guys are back before that has a chance to pay out. But I'm going to give both scenarios here. Let's say that you are June eligible, and you walk out of the building on December 15th and you've got 120 hours of vacation left. Come June 1st, actually it ends up being typically the week before, but you'll get a check for 120 hours of vacation time. Downside of it, they tax it like a bonus. Anything more than 20 hours of remaining vacation time, and that's not something that Ford does, that is federal law, it gets taxed as a bonus. So you're going to have more taxes than normal taken out of it, but you're talking a 120-hour check, which is a pretty good size check. The other question that I get, no, it will not count against you for unemployment. So let's say that week of June 1st, you get your bonus check for pay in lieu of your vacation time. Because it is not wages earned for that week, the state of Kentucky does not count that, and you do not have to report it on your unemployment. It will not affect your unemployment or your subpay in any way. For a December eligible person, let's say you get all of your time back December 1st and you don't use any of it before we go out. We come back, I'm making dates up here, so don't take any of this at face value, but let's say you come back October 1st and you use 20 hours of your time, you get back to your renewal date, December 1st. It's going to pay out same way. You're going to get a big check, you're going to get taxed as a bonus. But nobody loses their time for not using it. So don't feel like, and I'm not, if you want to use your time, but don't feel like you have to use it before we go out. It's not at risk. It's going to come as a lump sum payment once you reach your eligibility date. So just wanted to kind of hit on that. I want to kind of do a little bit of a public service announcement here. And I think most of the people that watch the YouTube videos are also Facebook users. One social media kind of goes with the other. So if you've got a Facebook account and you're somebody that likes to post funny jokes, maybe post controversial stuff, you get into talking heated debates about politics or about events going on out in the city or whatever. If you use your Facebook for anything aside from watching and reading for information and asking people for good cooking recipes, this applies to you. I would like for you to go to your profile, click on the button that says About, click on where it says Work and Education, and there's going to be a 3-dot button there. Click on Delete Workplace. If you have listed Ford Motor Company as your employer in your Facebook profile, I'm going to ask you to just go in there and delete it. Again, if all you do is scroll through and read stuff and ask people for a cooking recipe or where's a good place to go eat, or was that movie any good, you're fine. But if you share memes that could be considered inappropriate, if you post funny jokes that could be offending to somebody, this could come back to bite you in the butt. Companies, including Ford, use the fact that you identify yourself as an employee of that company in your personal profile to say that you are representing them anytime you post anything online, even if it's on your personal page. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, judges and courts have backed up that decision. So what that means is if you post something that you think's hilarious and all of your friends think it's hilarious, but Jim that works over 2 departments over sees it and thinks it's offensive and he turns it into labor, it's going to get investigated. And even though it's on your personal page, they are going to use that to come to a conclusion on if you are owed discipline for that or not. I know a whole bunch of people are going to say that's BS, and I agree with you. I think that your social media is yours, but I'm just telling you where we're at in society and at Ford Motor Company, and that judges and courts have ruled that's not the case, and that is the action that Ford takes as well. So somebody turns in a Facebook post and says he posted this and it was inappropriate and it offended me. The company is going to look into that, and I'm going to tell you right now, from what I've seen, when they go look into that, they're going to scroll through your Facebook, and if you got 3 other things that you posted that were offensive 3 years ago, they're going to see that too. So I just want to encourage everybody, disassociate yourself from forward on your social media account if you use your social media account to try and entertain people with funny stuff, or you get into controversial debates, because it will come back to get you. I don't want to be sitting in there trying to defend you and having to hear your grievance later because somebody was offended by something you posted. So I'm asking, please consider that. Think about how you use your Facebook. You know, I'm not going to reach out and tell you don't post anything and just be a hermit, because that's not realistic. I'm saying if you use your Facebook in a way that you think could upset somebody at any point, that you disassociate yourself from forward on your social media account. All right, that was a really long rant, and I'm sorry, but I just felt like I needed to get that out. Want to remind everybody that the November union meeting, it is not the normal time. That is going to be on a Sunday. It's on November 9th. It's at the LAP Hall, and it is being blended together with what they are calling the Fall Social and Resource Fair. And we're going to have, the rec committee is going to be there cooking pork chops. I think they've got a little bit of entertainment set up. There's going to be resources coming from the unemployment office, from our credit union, and a couple of other local places that are going to be able to give you some extra information on resources that are going to be available to us if needed while we're down for the retool. The credit union is going to be able to tell you about some extra resources that they've got available if one of us happens to be on a layoff, which all of us are going to happen to be on a layoff. And obviously the unemployment office is going to be there to answer any questions that you might have about when we get laid off and what that's going to look like. If they're going to, if you need help getting your password set up to where you can log in, or get your PIN changed to where you can claim over the phone, they're going to be able to help you with all of that as well. Again, Sunday, November 9th, the doors are going to open up at noon for the social and resource portion. The unemployment office, the credit union, the food, all of that stuff, it's going to start at noon. Our regular union meeting, where we discuss union business, is going to start at 3 o'clock. Want to invite everybody to come out and try to get our members there. This is going to be the last union meeting that we have here at the LAP Hall before our entire membership, our entire production membership, goes out for the retool. So be a good time to come up and get information. While you're there, I want to reiterate this one more time too. Make sure that you've got the correct contact information on file with the hall. If you're up here anyway, it takes about 30 seconds to fill that card out. Make sure they've got the right phone number on file for you and address on file for you. If you're not comfortable giving them one or the other, you can choose and just give them half. But either way, try and get your information updated. Also want to encourage everybody to swing by labor. If you have moved recently, or you have gotten married recently, or you have had any other changes that affect your contact information with the plant, because that's what they're going to use to call you back, to contact you with any important information about what's going on. Sure, I'm going to keep putting stuff out on social media, and Cher at the plant is going to be putting stuff on the Blue Oval Now app. But it's still a good idea to have your information on file so that you can be contacted if you need to with any pertinent or important information. That's all that I've got for this week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.